All right. So the next step is to actually play melody on the right hand. A melody that doesn't actually follow the chord progression. Remember, I showed you. Uh, Now this melody is following this chord progression, but what if you were to play a melody that is not following this progression? That the notes are not the chords, something like this. You see, so now that will give you a little bit of confusion. But if you have learned what I've been showing you from the beginning, it's not supposed to be that difficult. It will just follow the same rhythm, something like this. Let me see if I can put in a makosa beat. Okay, so it will sound like this. Okay, so as you could see, now before you start this piano practice, what you need to do is to learn the melody on the right hand first. Try as much as possible to memorize the melody with your eyes closed. Practice the melody on the right hand alone. So this is the melody. This is a popular melody in makosa. So remember, the melody ends in this F. So this should be like an anchor point for you. I'll show you what I mean by that. So just learn the melody first. So the 1 6 1 6 5. Do la sol fa. Then sol la ti la sol fa do. So I believe you got that. So the next part is to remember we are ending here. I told you this should be like an anchor point, so it's something like this. You see that when we hit the F, the fa, our chord progression on the left hand moves to the 4. So this should be like an anchor point. This is what will help to checkmate if you are moving in the right direction. So they are both hitting the 4 chord and the notes, the F note at the same time. So you see, but you're not going to rest on the 4. You are playing it twice. So as the right hand rests on the 4, the left hand plays it twice. So what will really help you is to break the melody down into parts. Maybe let's say three parts like this. So in doing that, what you have to do is, you have to take note that so the melody starts first before the left chord. Sorry. So that's what you should learn as your first step. You try that so many times. If you are finding it difficult to move this left hand, one cheat I tell people to do is, you can ask somebody to move this your left hand. If you are finding it difficult playing both the melody and the chord, if you are making mistake, maybe your left hand is going like this. You understand? Hey, if you are making that mistake, you should tell somebody to hold this your left hand and form your chords on the C major chord. Let them help you press this your hand down and raise it up in a rhythmic pattern, and let it follow the rhythm. Then focus your mind on the melody. So as someone is holding your hand like this, don't bother about the progression yet. Just get the rhythm. If you get the rhythm, the progression will not be a problem. So just get the rhythm. Let them hold your hand. Just be on this key, on this C chord. Let them hold it down and play it like this for you. Then you focus on your right hand. You will see that at some point you'll be struggling with the person. You want to press your hand down. Let the person know that they shouldn't let you go. They should use their strength to hold your hand so that you won't go out of that rhythm. Then let them continuously play that rhythm. Just focus on only the C, just like this. You see, I'm not moving to the other chords, I'm just in the C. So you focus your mind on the melody alone and make sure you play the correct melody on your right hand. Then after practicing like that for a very long time with that person, you tell the person to leave your hand. At that point, you have registered some movements in your mind. You've registered that particular rhythm in your mind. Then you try to play it yourself. You can as well tell the person to hold your hand and play for some time, then let go. They should play for a while, then let go of the hand, then you continue alone. So doing that, it helps you to register that movement, to understand the mechanism involved in playing the chords and the melody at the same time without making mistake. That's one. So I was talking about breaking the melody down into parts. The reason being, the brain likes understanding things in parts. So if you want to learn everything at once, you'll find it difficult. But if you break it down into parts, you can easily practice it. So the first part, so we found out that the melody comes first before the chord, before the next part. So that's what you should learn as your first part. Now we've already talked about this F like our anchor point, so you know that the next part of the melody is, you should automatically know that your chord is going to the 4. Even if you don't remember, you should remember that it's going to the 4. So you can rest like this for now. You play it again. These are our bus stop. Then we move to the second part. So the melody comes first again. see? Then you rest before going back to the fourth, to the third and the last part, which is the home. You see? So now the next thing you need to do is to play the double chord on the 4. Play it twice. Don't forget, always ask for someone to help you. Always tell them to do that pattern for you. Any rhythm you are playing, sometimes when I hear a new groove, sometimes it's difficult to play both hands together. A new groove I'm not used to, but you have to practice every groove. Sometimes I find it difficult playing the two hands for that new groove. So these the steps I take. I break them down into parts. I break the groove down. First, I practice the groove, understand the groove on the right hand, play it very well on the right hand, then know the progression on my left hand, then break them down into parts. If I'm still having issue with my rhythm on the left hand, I can tell somebody to hold my hand playing that rhythm on my left hand, then I focus on the right hand. This is a very, very important step that helps a lot to overcome that barrier. So the same thing applies to playing bass lines and playing chords. So playing bass line and playing melody at the same time, it's a little bit tricky and could be a little bit difficult, but if you follow the steps I've talked about, you will get it. So to explain that, I'm using this high life type of groove. So the first thing you need to do is to learn the groove on the right hand first. So this is the groove. I'm sorry. Let me break that down. So I'm starting with the 1. So you just move down. So the 1, 7, 6, 5, 2. Then you go to the 7. So just move down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 1. From the beginning. 1, 7, 6, 5, 2. Then you can actually do this playing the chord. this chord progression is the 1, the 5, and the 1, just like that, back and forth. It's very simple. So with that, you see that if you listen to it, you find out that okay, you can actually play a bass line on it. To be sincere, there are some grooves you play on your right hand, you find it very difficult to play bass line, because it will be very complex, and playing bass line at the same time will be a little bit complex, but some people can still play them. It all depends on practice. So for this groove, the bass line is very simple and it's kind of easy to play, playing along with the melody on the right hand. So following our steps, first you learn the melody, and I've showed you how to play the melody. Alright, so, and we know the progression on the 1 and the 5. This is the bass line. It starts on the 5. So the upper octave of the 5. So you just spread your hand, then just like that. Now you notice that to play one note continuously will be difficult. It will be hard on the first time. It will be hard playing along with this melody. You find this difficult to do. You find that difficult. So what you need to do is, after learning the bass line, learn it to an extent that you can actually close your eyes and play them. So you need to play this for a long time.